Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to today's live Q&A session where I might or might not be joined by Chris Palmer. I'm not sure of his situation. I do know he's travelling to SEO Rockstars, but we'll see if he comes in a few minutes. But before we see if Chris comes, do check out ODYS if you're interested in age domains and give yourself a leg up with a good solid website or domain name to help you on your website journey. But we are here to do a Q&A whether Chris attends or not. However, with SEO Rockstars being on in Vegas, I do know that he potentially has been held up with travelling and everything else because that event starts tomorrow. And I know we might not have as big an audience because quite a few of the people that watch here are going to SEO Rockstars. But if you are here, give us a thumbs up. Let us know if you've got any questions. We do have Adam Hawthorne, Craig Mullins, Clement, Mr. William Jones sending good vibes. Good to see William, as always. Fred Hutterson, you're always here. Mark Flanagan, I'm not liking that. From not so sunny Spain. Either way, you're away. you got out. Paul Hogden, good evening, people. Craig Mullins. Craig, did you actually go to Vegas or did you get scared with COVID? Facebook user, can't see who you are, but hello. Paul Hogden, he has been abducted by aliens or Google, one or the other. Eco Peep, hello, Eco Pete. I'm just going to call you Eco Pete as well, even though I know you're a female and your husband's Pete. Scott Latham was just talking to someone about you there. Ian McDonald. Anyway, he was praising your skills and stuff that you've done for him so far. But anyway, that's for another conversation. Chris Goldsmith, how are you, mate? Adam Poland, good to see you, mate. Craig Mullins is scared of COVID, and rightly so. Hi, Stefan, good to see you, mate. Adam Poland, have I recovered yet? Recovered. I've still got a cough, still feel pretty lousy, sleeping more than normal, but I'm back at the gym and stuff, so I'm not dying. But some days I feel good, some days I feel terrible, man. And I have got an ear infection as well as a kind of offset of COVID. So, yeah, I think I'm probably about 3 or 4 weeks in, and yeah, I'm still not 100%, probably about 70. But I'm on the mend. That's the main thing. Sebastian, report them with highly trusted Gmail local guide accounts. That was Sebastian's question. How to remove fake negative reviews by competitors in Google My Business listing. So obviously Google want to give people the right to do stuff or leave a review. However, as we all know, people can use that to their advantage in a negative way. As William says, highly trusted Gmail local guide accounts. Now, I'm not Holly Starks, and I've got multiple phones all over the place here with a whole bunch of different fake personas. I've got fucking tons of them. Anyway, what I do with these fake personas is I've got Jarvie running behind them. They're all automated. They're all got a good social media following. They're on every platform. All of these phones have got a different SIM card and so on. But one thing I do is I'll take 2 of them to an event or whatever, take photos of the hotel, and then upload them to Google to build up my local guide accounts, as William is suggesting. And I think clever people out there have got warm, trusted accounts from Google, and it's those that are potentially going to help get rid of the crap. So, yeah, it's a hard one. You just need to find someone who's got a bunch of stuff, and hopefully that will help you. But yeah, it's a pain in the ass. What I would also recommend is do reply to them and just say something along the lines of, you've never been a customer. We don't ever have a customer record using your name. This is clearly a negative review, blah, 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 blah. Because you do have the right to reply. So whilst that's stuck there, I think the right to reply is important. And farming, no farms here, William. I don't do it to the level or the scale that Holly does. I've always used fake personas for buying PBNs and outreach and negotiating under different personas and so on. So I've always done that, but certainly not a farm. I'd love to have had a farm, do you know that? But it's just too much like fucking hard work. So there you go. But Clement, I'm having a big issue. My main service is Slovenia. In Slovenia is a legal service that's also my main keyword. But when I watch in SEMrush, there is no keyword because my country is so small. What should I do? So Clement, because SEMrush maybe don't have as big a database or as much data on a country like Slovenia, doesn't mean there's no search. So it's one of those things that, you know, you can use these tools and that data as a guide, but in certain instances, and certainly in smaller countries, the data is not perfect. So whilst they're probably saying there is no volume or very little volume, that doesn't mean there is. I think it's something you've just got to throw out there. Data, you've got to read in between the lines and understand how that data works. Now, with the greatest respect to Slovenia in the world, you know, what's more important to SEMrush for their customers? You know, UK, US, and some of the bigger countries, or paying a lot for Slovenia? Slovenia is probably at the back of the list. And I'm not saying that is the way SEMrush conduct themselves. However, the reality and the way that I think is that, you know, data in certain countries just is left to the bottom of the pile, and it doesn't show a true reflection on, you know, what the actual search volume is. So if there's search volume there, throw enough mud at the wall, see what sticks, and try not utilize that data if the data is a bit off record. Now, there are different tool providers out there which may have other data, you know, or look at what your competition are doing. If they're going after that particular keyword, you have to follow suit as well, because if they're making money from it, then the chances are you will, if you override them. So hopefully that helps you, Clement. Chris is playing poker with his SEO profits. That's the thing. It would not surprise me, like just now, if there was a little camera and you could look in at one of those places in Vegas, and because I think you stay in the Tropicana Hotel, they'll be on some bucking Bronco, and fucking God knows, he's a crazy guy, isn't he? I love Chris, but he is a crazy guy. So I'd love to be a fly in the wall and see what the fuck is actually going on over there, because he's probably escaped his wife and his son for a few days and going all fucking crazy, man, out there. So massively jealous, but I wouldn't be surprised to see him in the back of a fucking bucking Bronco or fuck knows what. So hope he has a good time, and I'm going to assume that Chris is not coming. He's not even replied to my messages, but I don't know if he's been stuck on a jet or whatever. But we can do this without him for 1 week only. Eco Peep. I had long COVID for 10 months, nightmare, lack of sleep for coughing all night wore me down. Only when I went and got second Pfizer jab. I've had the 2 jabs, so hopefully I don't get it for 10 months. But when I did have it, or whilst I've still got it or whatever, I've got a lot of people messaging me saying it took me 4 weeks, it took me fucking 3 months to recover from this stuff. And there's Dan Jones saying similar, you know, took me about a month, you'll be 100% soon. So it's everyone's different. Obviously, I'm getting on a bit in life, and maybe it just takes me a wee bit longer to recover than some others. So, but I'm on the mend. That is the main thing. Hopefully, my uncle had a bad reaction to the second one. He almost died. He lost so much weight; it's insane. Not good, but hopefully, well, He has recovered now, though, on his way to starting to get back on track. I really wanted to ask Chris about the video about his network he had set up. I'm interested to hear what that is, and I'm also interested, but he's took it down since, though. Chris is a funny character, and he won't mind me saying this. Chris sometimes speaks too much, and tells too much, and then probably said, shit, I probably haven't, I shouldn't have told that part or whatever, and pulled it down. But interesting, and I'm also quite big in YouTube Live IRL fan. So yeah, I'll be interested to see what he's got there, and see what the fuck he's doing, because guys like William Jones, who's also in the chat, is absolutely killing it when it comes to video, going after some real big ass search terms, and also getting them to stick, which is the main thing. Anyone can do CTR, and as William Jones in the comments will probably back me up, if we're both just going hard at it and it's all CTR, nothing to do with embeds or any of your other secret sauce, if we're just going hard at it for CTR, whoever's doing the most CTR is going to win. It's the other secret sauce, whether it's your embeds, whether it's something else. That is the secret formula that people are potentially not wanting to share. So yeah, I'll be interested to see what's going on there, Live IRL fan. And I have been watching a lot of people's YouTube stuff closely because I want to learn. I've been watching Jonesy. I've been trying to pick his brains. And I get it. He's not going to just sit and hand it all out in a plate to me. But William Jones is another one you want to watch, because whatever William is doing, it's working. And that cannot be debated. You cannot argue with that. And they're for some fucking big search terms. So the video had nothing to do with SMM, though. It was about CTR. CTR's only one part of it, though, Live IRL fan. That's the point I'm trying to make. There's more to it than just the CTR. It's the embeds and everything else that go on round about it. And again, I don't want William to blast out his secrets or anything like that. And he's not going to, because he's not a daft guy. However, you know, at the end of the day, there's more to it than just CTR. There is other parts of that mix that people are not telling you, and I can't quite put my finger on it. Because I'm new to YouTube like everyone else. I've only been doing YouTube, you know, for a couple of years and tried and tested different things. You know, I'm by no means a YouTube monster. So I'm still learning and watching people like you. So yeah, it is what it is. But CTR, manipulation, traffic network, and he put a link in the description. Don't know if he put his own link or someone else's link by accident, but it seemed like it was an SMM panel. God knows. Dan Jones is asking, though, when you register a PBN domain name, do you still use a fake name to sign up? I noticed who it is. Doesn't show my name in the main websites, only my country. So is it still needed? Dan, I would try, and I mean, you get away with putting a fake persona on there 100%. It's how trusted that account is. You know, when I do it, as I was saying earlier, you know, with these phones and stuff, I've got a fake persona who regularly posts. They've got Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, all of the different things, so they look like a real person. So I have no worries at all when I, you know, on that phone register 10 domains. I'm happy to show their name, and whatever. And you know, it is what it is. So, you know, I remember years ago, in the UK, we've got Nominate as the governing body. And when I was doing PBNs, I just put in Donald Duck, Mickey Mouse, blah, 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 blah. And one day I got a phone call from Nominate saying, listen, unless you put your real name up, and we know who you are anyway, because your email's there, we know who you are, put your fucking real name on it, or your domains are getting taken off you. Simple as that. So try not play fit silly beggars and raise a red flag to a bull. is what I would say. Try and make it look realistic and sound realistic. Don't do like we all look at Facebook just now and we go, fuck, there's Ray Mark. No one's called that. Guys with 2 first names or 2 surnames or whatever. Or some Indian dude called Dave Smith. You can spot a fake thing a mile away, so you just got to try and make it look credible. And I think there's just that much volume that, as long as you're not waving any kind of glaring footprints, then you will be fine. The video had nothing to do with SMM, though. It's about CTR. So I don't know what he's done. Dan Jones is saying Williams Group has been good so far. I think William, does a very solid job and has a lot of good students. And I've looked at what he offers. He's offering people his SOPs. And if you look at William, a man who has got X amount of staff, I don't know the last figure, but he is a serious amount of staff out there and is doing something right. So I think, whether it's his SOPs you're going to learn from, and whether it's his Google My Business, local SEO stuff, or anything else that William's got to offer, I think, he's definitely doing something right, for sure. And if you can grab some of those SOPs and anything else that's available on his website, and yes, William, I have checked your website, then grab them, because that's what we all want. We all want to learn from each other, and want to know what that secret sauce is. So do check out William Jones. He's big on Facebook. He does have his own YouTube, which is Google My Business SEO. So that is Mr. William Jones there. Good day, peeps. Good vibes. So that's the William Jones promotion over and done with. Give us more questions, guys. I do want more questions from you, because obviously I can't talk to myself. I've got no one to bounce off of Chris or anything like that. So I want to do quick fire questions. Live IRL fan, thoughts on Chris experimenting with TikTok? Has he experimented that well with it, though? I've seen him doing a few things. I don't think, from the conversations I've had personally with Chris, he doesn't enjoy TikTok, and I don't think he's experimented enough on it. I, for one, have experimented a lot on it, and I found it really difficult to get any traction on the kind of digital marketing stuff, just because I don't think the audience I think people on that particular platform want fun stuff or crazy stuff or whatever it might be. So I think, it is what it is. He has put out a few new videos. I think TikTok, for me, and I've not seen his latest video, as Adam Poland's put out there. He's got a new video. I think with TikTok, I've had a few conversations with other people as well, and I'm not sure how to monetize TikTok traffic yet. Can I funnel that traffic into my YouTube to help with that? I don't know. It's not been successful so far, and I've been on TikTok for 2 years and I've got over 100,000 followers. So he was ranking as TikTok in Google. Right. So he's playing around with that side of it. Well, yeah. So recently, TikTok, I think it's only in the last week or two, TikTok videos have started showing in Google. So that's just a new thing. They previously didn't allow that, but they now are. So something worth playing with, because I think TikTok, like anything else, is a great, solid, big, powerful platform. And if we can do stuff on there that can help rank in Google, then exploit the shit out of it. But I've not seen it, and I will check out that video. Adam Poland, am I using Pinterest yet? So I have got Pinterest, and have had for a number of years. It's a platform I keep hearing people saying, use Tailwind and do this and do that. And you know what? I'm just like, I can't be fucking arsed. Like, I don't really understand the purpose of Pinterest. I'm not a personal user of it. However, I did buy Simon Hogbin's course, which I had a quick look over today. I've not watched it in depth. I didn't attend the live thing last night. But I will go through Simon's course. And I know they recommended Tailwind in there as well. And I just need to understand the concept of Pinterest better, because I keep hearing people saying there's a ton of traffic on there. And if you can do that and help, even with image search or, branding and all that kind of stuff, that little thing could work really well. So it was really good, well worth looking at for getting traffic. As you say, Adam, if there's a traffic source, whether it's TikTok, whether it's Pinterest, whether it's Facebook, whether it's YouTube, we want to exploit as many of them as we possibly can. And that's what I want to do. So I do want to get better at Pinterest. It is a platform that I have stupidly probably ignored over the years. I've heard these conversations with people for years talking about Tailwind, and it's just, there's so many different platforms you've got to try and cover. And as I say, I don't know. Pinterest has just always been one I've been like, man, go away. So now I'm going to sit down and I'm going to learn it, and I'm going to go over that course, whether I need to do it 2 or 3 times for it to sink into this thick skill, and start implementing it, and just building it into my process and see how it goes. Because if there's traffic to be had, whether it's another 1,000 hits a month or whatever it might be, then happy days. So I think you've got to just make sure that your traffic comes from multiple different sources. So I will be exploiting. And there is the good man himself. Pinterest is interesting. It's a search engine and there is local traffic on it. So I'm not the best at everything in the world by any stretch of the imagination. And that is definitely a weak area that I need to get my head around and do more. So I will be on it, man. I will be on it. Dan Jones, doesn't the domain registrar get suspicious when you buy a domain as John Smith but pays Dan Jones? Do you really think that the domain registrar cares? You could be buying that on behalf of a client. You could be doing that. They don't give a fuck. You're paying money. It's a commercial vehicle. They don't care whether you're Dan Jones or fucking Dan Smith or John Smith or anything like that. And also, your payment details are encrypted. So Google and ICANN or Nominate or whoever cannot see that information. So I think when someone says that, they're probably overthinking it and stuff like that. You just need to make it look real to the who is and everything else. Google can't really see the payment details. That shit's encrypted. So, yeah, you can pay as Dan Jones. People will go down the route of getting prepaid credit cards and all that kind of stuff. And they go all crazy, but I've never seen anyone have a problem that's done this to a reasonable standard, being caught for paying with their own card. So the registrar details and the payment details are 2 different things, and that, as I say, payment details are encrypted and it's not something that's shared with Google. So probably overcomplicating it is what I would say. So yeah, and as I say, most hosting companies are small business owners. Do you think they really give a fuck what name you use or what you want to call yourself or whatever? I could go and change my name to Elvis Presley tomorrow if I wanted to, legally. So, it's not a big drama. And if I was a hosting provider, would I care? Nah. As long as your payment went through, I'm a happy man. You can call yourself whatever you want and do whatever you want as far as I'm concerned. Reason to design, and apologies for this cough, by the way. It's fucking annoying me as well. Anyway, reason to design. Where do you see AI taking personalized search results in the next few years? Is SEO moving to a more personalized optimization? It's obviously hard to say. I think Google was this big thing, back 20 years ago. And it's, things are becoming more personalized and niching down and all that kind of stuff. And do we want more personalized results? Has technology allowed us to serve ads to people who are interested in the stuff that we want? And can we use that technology to make sure that SEO moves forward that way? Probably. I think it would make perfect sense. And again, the key word in this whole thing is SEO moving more towards a personalized optimization? It probably is. Everything's becoming more relevant, more, tight focused than it was before, where it was just a loose, pray and spray approach to SEO. So I think everything is becoming more personalized, and I think SEO potentially will become more of a personalized optimization. And I think that's also why, in my head, you want to drive traffic from a number of different sources. You do not want to just rely on Google for all of your traffic. And I think, building a brand, and using other platforms, like Simon said, Pinterest is a search engine, YouTube, and all of that kind of stuff. So for me, I think it's about diversification. I think it's Google can do what they want, and we're in the hands of them and all that kind of stuff. But I just think that things are that coming in closer and closer all the time, and I can only really see that increasing as the years go by. But I think when I speak to a lot of people, I think a lot of people think Google are a lot more clever than they actually are. Again, Google's just a machine, and with a machine, there's always flaws in that machine and flaws in the way it works. And it's SEO is a mathematic calculation, and will there be room to manipulate 100%? And yeah, we just need to see where it goes. But as I say, hopefully, in years to come, people do have a much more diverse approach to their marketing, and potentially don't have all their eggs in Google's basket. And I think, if Bing can do something else to come to the fore, and there's a bit more traffic coming from there, if it's 20 or 30%, I think that would be good for the industry, because then we've got stuff to optimize for, rather than, sucking eggs whenever Google decide to make changes. So hopefully that gives you a good answer, man. Adam Poland. And before I do Adam Poland, guys, can you please give us a like and a subscribe on the channel, because I'm dying to get to that 80,000 subscribers mark. So if you've not subscribed, please do. But Adam Poland's question first: do you think using Google Ads makes a difference to your organic rankings? A much debated topic, Adam. Now, here is the best way I can describe it. Now, do I believe by doing paid ads, Google gives you some form of SEO boost? Nah, I don't buy into that. However, like anything, those engagement signals, click-through rate and engagement time on website, is that going to indirectly impact your SEO using Google Ads? 100% it is. If, for example, I've got a page that I want to rank, and I've just launched this blog post and I want it to rank for this, that, and the next thing, I'm going to get the blog post written, optimize it, do all the on-page stuff, bash a few links to it. I'm going to release it to Facebook, Twitter, and all the other social media platforms. I'm going to send it out to my push notifications. I'm going to send it out to my mailing list and everything else. And it's all those click-through rate and engagement that makes that get indexed and rank very, very quickly. And will paid ads supplement that? 100%. And I think more often than not, when I've worked in projects, and maybe it's a new project or whatever it's going to be, can your paid ads help get your SEO off the ground if you tie it all together and all that? Yeah, 100%. So I'm not saying just by doing ads helps your SEO, but I think, the traffic and the click-through rate and engagement and all of that kind of stuff does help your SEO. And I think that's been proven time and time again. CTR is a thing. It has been for many, many years. It's not new. And, you could argue back and forth all day. But so the answer is probably yes. It can make a difference to your organic rankings if you do it properly. Dan Jones, do you still recommend Seek a Host for PBN domains and hosting? Yes, Seek a Host are a good, solid hosting provider. Now, I don't just recommend one hosting company. Seek a Host, you could host a block of your PBNs on there, and I think they'll do a good job. Would I personally ever have everything under one roof? Nope, absolutely not. When I've built PBNs over the years, I've always been very cautious and always had multiple hosting accounts. And, I used to go to fast hosts because they allowed me to have a different IP address for every website on there. And obviously you pay for it and all that stuff. Then you've got the PBN hosting companies who come out and say, we can do this and we can do that. And we'll change the name servers and we'll do this and we'll give you a different IP address, blah, 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 blah. Now, these people can do all of these things, but I'm still like, nah, I need to know that, I'm paying GoDaddy here, I'm paying Seek a Host there, I'm paying Fast Host here, and I'm paying this guy here, and I'll have clusters of websites on different hosts just to avoid those footprints, and so that I, in my own head, know that that shit is all over the place and broken out, and there's no massive footprints, because it's just the way I've always been. When I said to you earlier, Dan, people overcomplicate things and this, that, and the next thing. I probably overcomplicate the hosting thing. I pay more for hosting than I probably should compared to others, and it's because I have these things in my head where I want to, avoid leaving those footprints. Now, is that the right or wrong thing to do? I'm winning, so that's fine for me, and that's why I would continue to tell people, my way is working for me personally. Is it the best, most cost-effective way? I'm sure you probably could, condense it down a little bit and not maybe use as many hosting companies. But as I say, I just like to think that, as Chris has said before as well, one Gmail, one account, one persona, blah, 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 blah. Just try and segment everything out. It's a lot more work and there's a bit more cost to everything, but it stands the test of time. And as I say, if you're working on a bigger scale, one Gmail can also have a fake persona and a whole bunch of other stuff. You can do click-through rate, reviews. So, if you've got a full setup there, then it works very well. But yeah, as I say, I just don't want to invest. Building a PBN is not cheap, right? So if you go and build, 20 websites and the domains are on average £100 a pop, and then the build's another £100 a pop, and then whatever other hosting costs or whatever else is involved there, you've spent several £1,000s at that point on a PBN. Would you want that to fall over in 6 months' time because you didn't want to spend another $500 just separating out the hosting? It's not the right thing to be doing. So, as far as I'm concerned, you get what you pay for. So hopefully that answers that question, Dan. Apologies again for that cough. But yeah, so hopefully that answers that one, Dan. Keep the questions coming, guys. I do have 25 minutes left where I'll happily answer anything, no matter how big, small, whatever. Ask whatever you like, and I will try my best to share it if I can, if I know, that is. But yeah, let's do another 25 minutes of quick fire questions if you are interested. As I say, it's hard on your own to just talk shit and pick. I can't even pick Chris's brain at this point, so I do need your interaction today, guys. And also remember, leave us a little like or a dislike if you do not like the content. Either way, engagement's engagement, as I'm sure live IRL fan will confirm. A thumbs down is as good as a thumbs up. And but yeah, I'm trying to also get to the 80,000 subscriber mark. So that is something. It's a slow burner now. It grew very, very quickly at the start, but yeah, I need to get the 80,000 mark. I think I'm a I might be getting to 79,000 now. It's either that or 78,000. But yeah, I need another couple of thousand to break that 80,000 marker, guys. So please do help. And no problem at all, Mr. Dan Jones. Crazy Gamers, how to set up PBN links. I mean, build a PBN. A PBN's a PBN. It's a website. And then you can link out to whatever you want. Would you link out direct to your money website? Would you link out to guest posts? Would you link out to something else? Is entirely up to you. Everyone's got a different strategy. But how to set up a PBN in general, if you Google private blog network course, you'll see my website, number 1, and it will tell you how to set up a PBN, avoid leaving footprints, and then at that point, once you've got the asset built properly, you can then put whatever links you want on that website and link out. Simon Hogbin, the show is much better without Chris. Nah, can't say that, man. I enjoy having Chris. You cannot say that. Mr. Craig Cleland, no abuse today, mate. This guy was in Crime Lord as well. The guy that was eyeing up my girlfriend in the last Crime Lord, that's that pervert there. But there you go. And Simon Hogbin, Adam Poland's laughing at Simon Hogbin, and Simon says he's just kidding. I know I'm the funny one, and I'm the one with the good info, so I know you're not even kidding, Simon, so I'm taking that as a compliment, even if it wasn't intended. So there you go. And business growth ready. Am I making space in the wall for my play button? That will go right there if I don't wear it in a chain around my neck, because I'm going to be shaking that shit all over the place when I finally get to the 100,000 subscribers marker. So, yeah, that is exactly where that's going to go, up there, and I'll move that around. But this room is actually going to be getting done up soon. I've got a guy coming tomorrow, and he's going to change it all about for me because I'm not happy with my setup. Need better lights, and I need a more professional setup. So big things to come for next year. But Theo is in the house. A big shout out to the big bro, even though he looks older than me. But he's a nice guy, so we'll let him away with that one. But guys, do keep your questions coming. Don't leave me hanging here like a plonker, because there's 22 minutes to go. So any questions, especially for people that you feel, and I can't move out. I can move my long one, though. Honestly, I've worked hard for that 100,000 plaque, man. That fucking play button's going right there. Right in front of everyone's eyes. Scott Latham says I can't move Ali. But Theo, ask questions. You've always got questions, so ask them on here, mate. Help the other people as well. And Craig Cleland says, wait until the next episode. I can't really say too much on here, but do wait till the next episode of Crime Lord, because that guy, him, will be popping his clogs. Bang! He's a dead man. So there you go. Eco Peep, give us your best SEO tip you heard this year. I'll come back to you in that one. It depends. Like, an SEO tip to me and an SEO tip to someone else could be two different things. I'm not looking for groundbreaking news, because I've seen, tried, tested, done most tricks over the years. It's just all wee nuggets information that I'm normally looking for, or a wee thing to change. I think it's more about small changes than big changes for me now. But I'll come back to you on that one, because I need to think about it. I don't like being put in the spot like that, Eco Peep. Hey guy, got an ODYS domain name and want to throw up the old content, but some of it's garbage. Is there a way to have it and hide it in the website? One, you don't want to hide it, Stephen. Let it get crawled, let it get indexed, even if it's garbage. Once it's indexed, you can then tweak it, add to it, make it better, and all that kind of stuff. You just want that old shit to get indexed and that old URL to get indexed. Then you can tweak it, redirect it, do what you want. I wouldn't hide it. Especially if they've got good links, you just want that to re-index then and then repurpose it, add to it, add, some more subheadings, optimize it better, whatever, is what you want to do. So that's how I would do it, Stephen, even if it was absolute dog shit. My process is I really don't give a fuck what was on there. Repurpose it, let it get crawled and indexed, blah, 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 and then come in with a blank canvas and change stuff. If you need to redirect stuff, whatever it might be, then go for it. The questions are coming in thick and fast, so keep them coming, guys. 19 minutes left. Simon Hogbin, Google business profile, just a name change or something more about where Google want to take that service. I don't know. I don't know. Google business profile. You never know what they're up to, Simon. That is the truth. Just a name change or something more sinister underlying where they want to take it. Obviously, with Google My Business, it has somewhat changed, and you've got a Google guarantee thing and all that. So it's probably just, in my opinion, just a name change to keep up with. It's no longer just Google My Business, is it? Really, Google Business Profile, and you've got all these other little add-ons that they've built in over the years. So hopefully it's something like that. Not that I do a whole lot of GMB stuff, or GBP as they call it now, Great British Pounds. But there's always fucking something with that in it, and that's why I don't really like that shit. Like GMBs, there's always a fucking spanner in the works, and I hope they don't, because I know a lot of guys that make a lot of money through it. Crazy Gamers, which matters more for ranking, content or backlinks? That is a horrible question. And the reason being is I am a backlinks guy, and I would always say backlinks are really important, but your content writers are going to say, but you can't rank without content, and they're right. Can content rank without backlinks in certain instances for long tail keywords, blah, 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 blah. So you're forcing my hand here. And I'm going to have to say, you need both in a competitive market. Let's not make any mistake about that. But if it's one or the other, can you rank with just backlinks and pure shit content? No. Can you rank well with just content and no real backlinks? Yeah. So content is going to be. So you forced me into that. But there you go. Live IRL fan. Did Brad make the script of you getting beat up by that girl in Crime Lord? Listen, that was just the kinky fetish of mine in Crime Lord. There was no beating up. You don't know what goes on behind the fucking bedroom door, man, after she does that to me. So that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. But Brad's also getting beaten up when I get to America. You can tell him I said that. Are you in London next week? Yes, I will be down at Ungagged, which is on Friday in central London. Not speaking at the event. I'm just attending, catching up with a few friends who are speaking there. And just going along for a fucking jolly up. It's nice to go to an event where you're not speaking and I can just sit in the background with a beer and not have to worry about making slides. But got a lot of friends in the SEO game down in London, and have not caught up with them for a couple of years because of COVID. So I thought I'd make the journey down and spend a few days down there and catch up with a few people. So looking forward to it. So yeah, are you going? Simon Hogbin, am I speaking at any UK SEO events next year? Probably not, Simon. I'm not scheduled to. My next event that I'm live speaking at in person is in Dubai. And I've got a few others. I've got one in Spain. I've got Affiliate World Europe, Barcelona in June. I've got Spain in July. I've got Italy in November and stuff like that. But I've got no UK SEO events. I've done Brighton SEO. I've done Search Leads. But what I would say is they're not, a lot of these events are not for they don't want someone like me speaking. You know, maybe because of some of the tactics or maybe what these guys see as unorthodox. You know, I think nothing against the events. I think a lot of the UK events are great events and stuff, but you know, it is younger agency members of staff who are talking about very basic stuff and not going to want someone like me coming in saying, you know, buy links, do this, do that. So, you know, the UK events are not really ones that want me to speak there unless there's a you know, a reason for it, like SEO Underground. You know, I'd speak at something like that, or if there's anything else, then of course I'm up for it. But no, no things yet. So the foreign people like me better than the UK, which is pretty sad, isn't it? But it's just the nature of what I talk about, black hat stuff, and you know, I turn up on stage with shorts and a t-shirt on, and some of these kind of corporate people don't like that, but you know, I'm not changing, so we're just going to have to agree to disagree. And these events, you know, I've had my shot at them, and that's it. So yeah, probably not, Simon, unless you've got an event. I'll come and speak at that. Theo, how should you weigh up how many backlinks you need against based on your competitors? How do I know how many links I need to buy to rank a client once I've optimized all the content? It's not a volume game. A lot of people think it is. You know, if your client, if your competition have 100 links, does that mean you need to buy 100? Absolutely not. Some of them could be citations, some of them could be irrelevant, some of them maybe not as powerful as the stuff you're buying or whatever. So you buy bit by bit by bit and try and do better and get more powerful, more relevance, and more traffic to those backlinks than they are, and you'll win the game. How many? I can't give you a figure. Have I beat someone with 5 links before when other people have had 100 links? Yeah, for many search terms. But in competitive markets, you're going to have to just use your Ahrefs, see what the competition have got, and go, right, I need some of this, I need some of that, I need some of that. And if I can't get some of that, how do I get similar to that, similar to that, similar to that? And that's it. You know, you just got to do it bit by bit. And in most cases, clients don't have 100 grand to throw at backlinks. So you're buying it on a month-to-month basis to get growth for certain keywords to keep the client going. So there is no specific number, mate. CBD Cakes, new Crime Lord episode. Chris Palmer lost in Las Vegas. That could actually be quite funny because all sorts of crazy shit could go on there. Google Business Profile sounds more professional. I agree 100%, Simon. Google My Business doesn't even really make... It's not even grammatically correct, really, is it? But yeah, it just sounds a bit shitty. Is silo structure good for internal linking in the business website? Regardless of what website you've got, whether it's business, whether it's affiliate, whether it's anything, internal linking and a good solid silo structure are super important to show Google essentially what your most important pages are, and having a good solid silo structure and just keep everything in check so that it's Google for easy for Google to understand and all that kind of stuff. So yes, any website should have a good silo structure and a good internal linking structure. It really can move the needle. So yes, 100%. And Adam Poland, yes, I want to get to it if I can. Yeah, it should be a good wee event. I'm staying... I get there on Thursday afternoon. Staying Thursday night and staying on Friday night. I think there's a wee party after it and all that for a few beers. So, yeah, I'm going to go down and see what's happening down there and stuff. So, if you're there, hopefully we can grab a wee beer, mate, catch up, which is always good. I heard the Scottish batter everything, so it notes your wife's fault. There's a joke in there somewhere, and I've never ate a battered Mars bar, by the way. A lot of people make that joke. I would not eat that. It sounds vile. But Scottish chip shops do literally put batter on everything. And probably their wives and everything. Dodgy black hat stuff. See, the thing is, Adam, I can talk about social media. I can talk about loads of different things. It doesn't always have to resolve around, illegal practices. But again, I just hate people who make out like this shit doesn't work or doesn't go on or whatever. And that's what where I get frustrated with a lot of the events, because they make out like this side is all shit and dodgy and doesn't work and it's a load of crap and this, that, and next thing. Yet half of them actually follow the exact practices that we talk about. They just can't talk about them because their corporate client doesn't like it. So I just think it's a lot of fucking bullshit, if I'm being honest. And that's what I don't like. So yeah. Am I flying down on Friday, Stephen Stewart? I'm coincidentally going to London on Friday. Not stalking you, I swear. I'm not flying down. I'm going down in the train. I'm going down on Thursday, back on Saturday morning. But if you are about, we're near the Tower of London. I think we're in Fenchurch Street, if that helps. And yeah, if you're about, mate, catch me for a beer. Simon Hogbin, hopefully SEO Underground will be back in 2022. This year's was great. Yeah, Simon, I think it will be back. Spoke to Paul about it. He's keen to get it back. It's just a case of where do we do it again? Is it going to be Newmarket? Is it going to be nearer London? Just in terms of people getting there. Obviously, it was the first event ever for SEO Underground, and I thought it went quite well, given it was COVID. And all of that stuff, I think we still got an okay turnout. And to be honest, I like the smaller events better than the bigger events because it means you can have that kind of personal touch and you can sit with each other at the bar at the end of it and, maybe do bits of business with people and stuff. And I think those smaller events really have that. And I think, it's a good, super solid event, and I think it will be back next year. And I'll definitely be up for going to that. And I don't want to speak at every event because I don't want to be that guy that like, oh fuck, not him again. But I think if I was asked again 100%, I would do it. And set one up, Simon. Adam Pullen says, Holly seems to have been quite quiet recently. Must be working on a new YouTube experiment, YouTube Shorts, community tab. Who knows? Who knows what she is doing? I do know that her mother-in-law wasn't keeping too well, and they were spending time sorting that kind of situation out and stuff. But I do know that Holly is going to SEO Rockstars, and she is talking in the next few days. So she isn't not working, so she is also probably working something in her dungeon. Business growth ready. Long time since being in Scotland. After mum moved down from Inch, Aberdeenshire. It's a long drive from Birmingham. It's only 4.5 hours, Birmingham to Glasgow, man. Get your ass back up here. Not to Aberdeen, though. You're probably talking 7. But yeah, it's a fair old trek. One of the biggest things, like going down south, like next week to London, it's a fucking 4.5 hour train ride. So it's a pain in the arse. But the reason I'm getting the train and Stephen Stewart's jumping on a plane, I could get down there in an hour on a plane. But by the time you go into the airport and fucking go through security and all that shit, you can't get any of your emails done. If I go on the train, I can do a few calls, do a few emails, keep on top of things, watch videos, and I'm less stressed. Go on that plane and fucking, yeah, fuck that shit. So I'm on the plane down. So fuck driving. I just saw YouTube confirmed they'll be removing the dislike count soon, but dislike button will stay after running some experiments. Do you know if there will be anything about YouTube at the event? At the event next week? I'm not so sure. You'd need to check the speakers. I highly doubt it. Haven't seen some of the speakers, but I don't recognise any of them as a YouTube expert or a Holly Starks type person. but I might be wrong on that because I don't know some of the speakers, so they could be. But it'd be nice if there was, because it's something, as I say, I've got a keen interest in. And new update equals new exploits. That is always the way, mate. Always the way. Paul Clark, good to see you, buddy. Which keyword cluster tool you using? See, it's getting more crowded. SE ranking, SERP keyword Cupid. Personally, I use keyword Cupid. I'm a big fan of Leo, who is the owner of keyword Cupid. I think he's a very smart guy, and was first out of the traps with such a tool that pulled that data together. So I'm a keyword Cupid fan. Listen, SE ranking and SERP are also very good tools. Just not ones that I use on a daily basis. But I know they're also super solid people, so they could also be good. But Keyword Cupid wins the race for me. What's the name of the event? So it's ungagged.com. Ungagged.com. In fact, ungagged.com. Put it there just because I know the accent is ropey at best. So ungagged.com is the name of that event. Theo, can you tell us some best practices for paper lead or some pitfalls to avoid? What I would tell you to avoid is, small time, run of the mill gutter cleaners and shit like that, because they don't value your time or expertise. They don't get it. They're just, they are what they are. So I'd done it years ago, and the guys just wouldn't pay for the leads. Also done it for a local double glazing company. Now the transactional value from a gutter clean, which is £40, to a double glazing company, which is thousands of pounds, is the reason I went to the double glazing company. But again, small double glazing company, the guy couldn't answer the phone properly, and it was then impacting on the paper lead, because he's like, yeah, I got 5 phone calls, but nothing converted, so I'm not paying you for any leads. And you're like, that's your fucking fault. You can't answer the phone properly, you can't answer it in a timely manner, and all that kind of stuff. So yes, I would suggest rank and rent, because people who do well with paper leads, and I asked Brad these questions yesterday, actually, and you'll know Dooley, Theo. Dooley does a lot of lead gen, paper lead, call it what you like. He has 2 call centers. He owns 2 call centers because he has to, qualify those leads, and he's not prepared to allow the business owner to qualify those leads, because why would he? So he qualifies the leads through his call center. So if you want all of that hassle of going to the cost of hiring those staff and doing the call center and everything else, then paper lead can be done successfully. That is why I like rank and rent, and why I went down the route of rank and rent, because you just get a flat monthly fee, whether that guy gets 100 leads or 1,000 leads or whatever. End of. So I found a niche where the jobs are anywhere from 2 to 10k, typically 4 to 5k. So if I was doing paper lead, you'd want to look at professionals, lawyers, dentists, surgeons, boob job people, whatever, hair transplants and all that kind of stuff. So you want to look at things like that rather than the shitty little gutter cleaner, and you might be able to work it better than I did. So hopefully that's a couple of wee bits of food for thought. Adam Hawthorne, have you found any decent Black Friday deals? I have. I have a Black Friday SEO deals page, which will be updated later this week with some of the up-and-coming deals that are coming out. I've got a lot of people reaching out to me, tool providers, service providers, and all that kind of stuff. So there will be a bunch of good deals. And I'll try and mix it up as best as can. I'm not going to have 2 of the same thing on there. And I'll try not to have 2 of the same thing on there. But yeah, I've got a lot of people reaching out and want me to promote it. So I will have my usual Black Friday SEO deals page up there. If you just Google Black Friday SEO deals, I think my website's in the top couple of rankings, and it will have tools, services, whatever, and they will be from people that I know and trust. I'm not just going to post any old shit up there. Our John, any best SEO tip to beat a news website in event blogging? I mean, in event blogging, I mean, a news website can be beaten. It depends on the news website. You know, some of the news websites are just outrageously powerful. But are these news websites, you know, doing great content? Are they really optimizing their on page? Are they building links to that internal page? Probably not. So in most cases, news websites are easily beaten. And I do a lot of reputation management where people have been in news websites, and I've got to use social media profiles and various other profiles to shuffle that stuff down, and also other PR if I have to. So it can be done. You just got to do better work, and charge the right money. And if you need to add PR into it, then that's it. You've got to add that into the mix. Should I use anti-detect browsers? Indigo for CTR. Kobe Kuhn. I don't go that advanced into it because I know I actually spoke to a guy today who had a big kind of bot network or farm, CTR farm, call it what you like. And his message to me was Amazon and you know, it was on the Amazon web server and all that stuff. And his thing is he needs to update the iMacro scripts and has to do this, that, and the next thing because it's basically been fucked. So should you use anti-detect browsers like those for CTR? Will that work? Can that work? I've not spent the time testing to that level, so I'm probably not the best person to answer that. Someone like Chris Palmer or Holly Starks, who is real big and in-depth on the CTR thing, would be able to tell you whether the likes of YouTube or Google or whatever can detect what's going on there, even though it's an anti-detect browser. So I'm not the best person to answer that. Maybe Live IRL fan could answer that one because you do a lot of CTR stuff. And this is the final one for today. What is the name of the Vegas event as well? It is called SEO Rockstars.us. So I will put SEO Rockstars.us. Oh shit! I put UK, US. So give me a second, and I'll put it up on the screen. What the fuck? SEO Rockstars.us. So that is the name of the event. I will also be speaking there remotely, of course. Recorded my video last night. You've got Clint Butler, Holly Starks, Chris Palmer, Randy Roday, and a whole bunch of other very, very experienced, I'm not going to say black hats, that wouldn't be fair, but SEOs that do some good stuff. So it is a great event, and I've spoke there in person, and yeah, love it. And it's in Vegas, which I also love. So and no worries at all, Adam. And the last one from another Adam. Ignoring indexing services, do you use your own websites to index your tiered links? Yeah, of course. I mean, I wouldn't say just websites, assets, personas, social medias, all of that kind of stuff. Do I like to try and force index everything though? Nah. But if I have to, then yeah, I'll use assets that I've got, and it's not always a website. So social media, everything else can be used to get that indexation going a bit quicker. So hopefully that helps you, Adam Hawthorne and Adam Poland. No problem. Appreciate it. And everyone else for all your questions. Thank you very much. And we will catch you next week. Chris Palmer will be back from Rockstars, and I won't yet be at London. So we will be back the same time next week to help you guys out. But until then, hopefully you guys have the rest a good rest of the week, and we'll catch you all later on. Cheers.